Hello again, friends.
When you are friends.
My name is Flex Donovan. You might remember me from former TNA Knockout Rocket Con's $3 billion lawsuit, where I am one of the defendants. With me, as always, is the star of this show, Joshua Moose Hadley. How's it going, Moose?
Not great. This is last year. My brother passed away, and just
Mm.
yesterday, as of this recording, my sister-in-law has passed away. His ex. Been a really hard time for the family, but I gotta say, I don't want to spend too much time being a downer on the show. So I'll just say I really appreciate being able to do the 420 stream we did on Adolf Hitler's birthday, of course. um,
I don't
yeah,
want to be a downer, but I will bring up Hitler.
I joked on the stream, like I didn't understand why people had to get high on that day, but it's Hitler's birthday, it's Axel's birthday, my brother died.
Yeah.
It's terrible. You gotta get high to like just get through it. I finally figured it out.
Yeah. So I was on the Gopher stream. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Gopher forgot how to speak English.
You went full caveman for a while. If anybody happens to listen to this and you haven't seen the stream, go check the video on demand out. I don't think Gopher is going to be man enough to put this on his YouTube channel because
Well,
it
why
does
not?
make him look bad. But you need to watch it. It is the wildest Gopher and Tuck stream so far, and I've been a part of a lot of really crazy ones.
Makes him look bad. He got Ullapit. I was getting stoned, but I wasn't nearly as stoned as he was. He got Ullapit, and he was playing Fall Guys better than I was. Like,
Right, but also when told that the Big Show was waiting outside to attack him, he did believe it.
well, I said that because it was true.
Well,
I, hey, no one can prove that I wasn't. What are you saying? I was lying?
yeah, no, that's true. I guess I don't have evidence Big Show wasn't outside waiting to attack him with the world's strongest punch or whatever, the weapon of mass destruction, his fist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a great stream. Make sure to check it out on VOD. Gopher might put it up on YouTube. Who knows?
you know what? While you're at it, just go ahead and subscribe to Gopher and Tuck if you're not, because we're gonna stream there more. We're gonna be there playing Fall Guys, doing stuff.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah,
just go over there.
yeah. Just go over there and don't watch what I did. I made a big mistake. And
Oh, what's that?
I I went to the TV. I
Hmm.
downloaded Fight. I have
Hmm.
Fight Plus, so I can watch GCW Red Means
Oh
Green,
no.
and I
Oh no.
finally, we've been waiting. I've been talking about him. I was hoping he'll be at WrestleMania. Wildfire Tommy Rich teaming up with his own tag team partner, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, and they took on Bussy, Effie, and Allie. What's her face?
Alley Catch.
Yeah, and boy, it was really something, man. Tommy was standing there while they were doing moves to him. It was really something else.
Wildfire Tommy Rich taking on Bussy is just the sentence. It gives you. It's like we're living in a different kind of world. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it's like we went to sleep one night in like 2010 or something, and we flipped dimensions because this is just further proof everything is going insane that this happened.
Well, when we gonna get Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert in this new hot tag team division in Ring of Honor?
God damn, would they be the worst tag team? They probably would. No.
No, I don't know. Maybe Luther and Serpentico could
Well, I was gonna
compete
say
with them.
whatever Brian Cage is doing. Uh,
Wait, that's it. We need Wildfire Tommy Rich challenging to Brian Cage.
that's fucking What a visual. Brian Cage is like, come on, you gotta do 5 minutes of offense. And Tommy Rich is like, no, I'm just gonna stand here. How am I gonna get my shit in? Can't you just do a roll up and we can go get out of here?
I can see it all now. Oh boy.
Oh man.
Well, speaking of other things in wrestling, you said you watched the Smack It Down.
Yeah. So we talked about this off the recording, before the recording. Braun Strowman was in a tag team match. It was Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Viking Raiders. Braun Strowman went to hot tag Ricochet, and he grabbed his partner who was outside of the ring and goes to throw him across the ring at the Viking Raiders. And he gets him halfway there. Halfway across the ring. The problem is they were in the complete opposite corner. So he got nowhere near them. So he falls and looks like an idiot. And he can't save himself because he got thrown by another person. So he had no control of his movements. And then, as he lands on the floor, or on the mat, and looking like an idiot, Braun Strowman starts to panic. And he leaves the ring through the middle, or between the middle and top ropes, and he hits his head on the turnbuckle and falls to the ground like he dropped dead. If you were the booker of this promotion, what would you do?
I'd look at Braun and I'd say, dude, we brought you back. We thought we'd try again, and it just ain't working. We're gonna have to find someone with maybe a little bit more experience and wouldn't screw up a spot like that. We're getting fire on fire, Tommy Rich. He's gonna team with Ricochet.
He'd be a great partner for Ricochet. Ricochet can do all the work.
Exactly. Tommy, you look good standing in that corner.
Do you think Ricochet went and re-listened to the CM Punk Art of Wrestling podcast, where Punk chronicalized his runnings in with Ryback to take notes? And he's like, Braun, you can't tell me you didn't do that on purpose. Either tell me right now you intentionally threw me at no one, or tell me you're dumb as fuck.
That'd be amazing. He's got to do it.
Ricochet, you'd be big over with this podcast if you did it.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Treat him like Ryback.
Yeah.
I like him, better than Ryback, I think. Braun, you're not Ryback, but you are close after this one. You gotta figure it out, or we are gonna start the petition to replace you with Tommy Rich.
I mean, Ryback could be better if he gets the thing right. Not the bifocals, the
monocle.
The monocle, that's a mono one.
Well, let's not bring it up, because I'm still heartbroken that the Rybonicle Chronicle Ryback has me blocked on Twitter for suggesting something crazy like a massively over gimmick of him being the Rybonicle.
Yeah, I think we gotta move past this, this hate, this strife. And we gotta talk about Ring of Honor on Honor Club episode.
Yes, the show. And the first match on the show, the Kingdom defeated Action Andretti and Darius Martin. Ring of Honor opened this week with Bobby Cruz announcing the Kingdom to the ring. A lot better than last week, where it opened with Smart Mark Sterling. What'd you think of this match?
I thought this match was fine. It's the Kingdom and the Martin brothers again.
The who?
Darius Martin and Andretti Martin.
Lance Von Erich Martin.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Chris Jericho's promised to make him a star, and now he is top flight.
Hell yeah.
Way to go, Jericho. You did it.
Hell yeah.
The Code of Honor was adhered to. That was nice.
That was strange, because this is supposed to be like a heated feud, too.
Yeah. Other than that, I thought the Kingdom were really good at making the match as realistic as possible. I don't know if that's the right phrase for it.
Like the opposite of the AAA match they were
Yeah,
on.
they're a details tag team. They try and make sure everything makes sense. Um, yeah, I don't think it's totally out of character for them to shake hands, hoping to lure them into a false sense of,
Well, I'm just wondering about Darius because doesn't Mike claim they injured Dante? The Kingdom, like, yeah, they can shake their hand, but you figured Darius was like, man, screw these guys. And action, his cousin
well,
Dante got hurt.
well, clearly Darius Martin's not very smart because he thinks this Action Andretti guy's his brother.
He must have got brain damage in the Reach for the Sky match.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me.
Next
Uh,
up, we got a promo
yep,
from your favorite.
I do love Athena. This was not a great promo, but the only important part here is Athena says she is the gatekeeper. Do you think we're going to get a Kelly Klein return?
I don't think so.
Oh. Anyway, after
They, they
that.
hate they hate they hate me. They won't make it happen.
Well, I didn't think she was that good, but BJ Whitmer is still employed there. I don't know if they're still together or not, but, I don't know.
Come on, BJ, Tony. That's his friend.
Yeah. After that, Willow Nightingale defeated Robin Renegade. What'd you think about that?
Man, was it Robin or did she beat the other sister who came in when they tried to do twin magic?
Um, I don't know. I couldn't tell a difference.
Here's what happened. So they're not twins, but they decided to do the twin magic thing. I don't know if the Bellas invented it, where one sister like the rest
No,
distracted.
didn't
So
didn't the Hebners invent it?
did they do that?
They did
Like
the twin
I
referee
know that was
thing,
part of the finish for Hogan and Andre, where you know Earl's the evil ref.
but isn't that
Uh,
where the idea comes from? Is Earl and
I
Dave
think
Hebner?
so. Yeah, I think that is where the idea comes from. Yeah. Anyway, they try to do that even though they're not twins, and I guess it goes to show all white people do look the same.
Oh my god! And speaking of white people, Ian Riccaboni started rapping during
Uh,
Willow's entrance. I had to pause the show for the cringe. Then when I unpaused it, I quickly realized Robin Renegade was wrestling in jeans, which is by far my biggest pet peeve.
Free,
I really was
free.
upset. Like, if you are not in our Discord and you're hearing me say this, you're not gonna have any idea how upset I get when people wrestle in jeans, especially in Ring of Honor. It's I what's the Jim Cornette phrase on pet peeves? I don't have pet peeves. I have major psychotic problems or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
something like that.
I have a major psychotic issue with people wearing jeans and wrestling. I really
It,
hate
it
it.
doesn't. It makes less sense in AEW because I watched Swerve and Darby wrestle, and Darby had a belt, and Robin did too, and like uh Swerve, he took his belt off and started whipping with him with it. Well, Audrey was watching them, so it's not even smart to like have a belt on or something like to keep your jeans up, because in these promotions, like the opponent can just use them as a weapon now against you.
You're not really gonna try and make me talk about AEW Dynamite, are you?
No, I was just talking about it.
Well, good, because
I'll bring it up again because
no,
we'll need.
no, please no. Anyway, after the match, the Wrestling and Jean sisters beat down Willow, and I want them both to be fired. Or
Yeah.
mandate that they don't wrestle in jeans, because that's stupid.
All right, so they wrestle in a tag match. Willow will team up with Billy Stark, and they beat the Rock. They have like if the Renegade sisters lose, they lose. They can't wrestle in jeans anymore. So if the heels win, the baby faces can't dance anymore.
Billy Starks would be an interesting person to be paired up with Willow Nightingale.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's I thought either Sky Blue or Trish Adora, but actually Billy Starks might be better than those two.
Yeah, I
But
think,
Sky Blue is the one with the contract, so.
and she's the one who's graduated high school at least.
Well, I think Trish Adora has graduated high school.
I don't know. I don't know.
Whoa!
I don't know. Is she
Yeah, she
that
is a
old?
pro wrestler. Yeah, I think she's like 30. After that, we
Oh,
got a
she
Colt.
looks great.
Yeah, she does. After that, we got a Colt Cabana backstage promo. Colt, my close personal friend, is happy to be back in Ring of Honor, has history with Samoa Joe, and would like to win the TV title. Do you have any opinions on Colt Cabana's promo? Or the fact that
Uh,
I'm his close personal friend?
um, I'm just wondering why Colt's getting the title match.
Because he's Colt Cabana. Boom, boom. After the match, or after that promo, we got Lance Archer defeating Jaw C, pronounced JC. What do you think of that?
I don't like his entrance, but I mean that's sort of strange thing to do. I do like Lance Archer. I've always liked him. Ever since I've seen him team up with Jimmy Rave in TNA as the Rock and Rave Infection.
Yeah, what a good tag team that was. It's too bad that they just wouldn't have, room for a tag team like that in this star-studded tag team division Tony Khan has created.
True. True.
There was a squash match, in case anybody had any doubt. Which I guess in hindsight you should have doubt, because the next match was Brian Cage defeating Joey Jett, which was not a squash match. First of
How
all,
is
who is Joey Jett?
Oh, he's the brother of Martin Jet.
Who's Martin Jett?
Remember that he was that guy that was in the backyard wrestling video that one time.
No. Okay.
So we're talking about squash matches. Like, why is it always like every jobber can like? It seems like they can half-ass beat Brian Cage for like a minute in the match.
Because Brian Cage is not a star. That's what I wrote in my notes. I wrote he did it, that Brian Cage defeated Joey Jett easily, except then I watched the match, and it was not easy. It was like an 8-minute back and forth. They gave Joey Jett a lot here. Brian Cage is not a star. This is goofy.
I'm thinking like when Hulk Hogan gave anything to Joey Jet, when Bruiser Brody, take offense
God.
from this guy, when Big Van Vader, just like, oh yeah, we're gonna wrestle open for you here for a minute.
Like, Eddie Guerrero was one of the most generous wrestlers there was. But when Eddie Guerrero was a heel and he had to work job guys, he beat the shit out of them. Does Brian Cage not know anything? Like, I think in Brian Cage's mind, this got him more over than the match with Tony Deppen. The match with Tony Deppen is the only thing that's ever gotten Brian Cage over to me.
And it was all Tony.
It was all Tony Deppen. At the end of this match, Caprice Coleman said, "Got his stuff in," and you couldn't.
Yeah, it's funny.
You couldn't come up with one sentence to better describe any Brian Cage match ever. Got his stuff in.
Yep. Oh, and it was mentioned, and it's never talked about on the show, but now the embassies, the Mongolian embassy, right?
Sure, I think they're the Mogul embassy, but we'll call them the Mongolian embassy until it's clarified on this show, because I'm not watching Dynamite to figure it out.
Yeah, so Prince Nana now manages Shane Strickland,
Which is stupid. Does anybody in wrestling need a manager less than Shane Strickland?
uh, he needs Nana to like sign, do all the paperwork. Because Shane, he wants to concentrate on his friendship with Rick Ross and the NXT guy. That's terrible.
Parker Boudreaux.
Yeah.
He is terrible.
So he was part of Mogul affiliates. So is he gonna be here too, teaming with Brian Cage?
My God, could he just replace Brian Cage? I guarantee he's worse than Brian Cage by a lot, and I don't like Brian Cage, but I guarantee he wouldn't be so stupid to give Joey Jet 4 minutes of offense.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
All right,
Anyway,
Tony, test it
you
out.
know, you know, Brian Cage. Why don't you learn from this this next squash match?
Yeah, maybe that's why they didn't have a squash. They didn't want to have 3 squashes in a row.
Maybe.
Athena defeated Heather Reckless in a proving ground match. During Athena's entrance, they panned to the crowd, and there was a lady twice her size that she was trying to intimidate. This big old bitch had to be 6 foot 200 pounds.
Yeah.
She looked like she was raised on a farm, and she was happy and smiling. By the way, she's a lovely looking lady. I'm not saying she's a big monster heel looking. Fine. She looked like a normal big person, and Athena looked like a very small person compared to her. I don't know why that got on the screen. But
strange.
Speaking of Reckless, Athena beat the crap out of Heather Reckless.
Hell yeah. That'll teach her.
She threw her into the barricade, like 5 times head first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that Brian Cage should take notes on how to beat somebody up, but I think it's funny he does 50-50 matches with job guys.
It is funny. I do get a laugh out of it sometimes, especially like the first time he did it with the ninja dude. I'm pretty sure I said on Discord, like, why is Brian like giving this guy any offense?
Brian Cage lives to get his shit in. It's why Taz started making fun of him on national TV. Because he's just not smart enough to take advice. After this match, Alex Reynolds and John Silver defeated Cole Carter and Lee Johnson.
Hey, it's the factory.
What? No.
Yeah, remember they were in that thing with QT Marshall and
who?
Nick Camarado is there too.
Didn't they outlaw the factory? They said there's no more factory.
No, they just had to change their name because Cody left.
Oh. Yeah, actually that probably is what happened, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You know what? I'm going to admit to being a mark here. I was somewhat looking forward to this. I thought it was going to be okay.
I thought it was an okay match.
It was.
John Silver was doing his wrestling. Who that was there? Fake Sting and Lee Johnson.
Big Shotty. During this match, Ian Riccaboni said twice, the tag team division has never been hotter. No.
What do you mean we got Cole Carter and Shotty Lee Johnson?
This is the worst tag team division in Ring of Honor history. But we do have Cole Carter and Lee Johnson, who I think have potential as a handsome tag team. Now, I don't know what that does for them, but they're both pretty handsome young men.
Let's see. I don't know. Maybe 2003 was rough. But, like, Dan Ma and...
Hey, they brought Dan Maff back in, 2019. He wasn't too bad.
You know, he was good. I just always thought he was bad because he was a CZW guy. I didn't see him before that.
Yeah, I think you could easily pick out worse wrestlers on this show than Tom. Like, for example, Parker Boudreaux.
True. No Righteous though, but Stu Grayson wasn't there either.
Oh man, you just had to bring up the Righteous.
Well, they're feuding with the Dark Order.
Yeah, but you know how I feel. I want to pretend that Vincent doesn't exist right up until the point I have to confront him.
Damn.
I did promise that I'm going to give their storyline a chance, so I'm not going to skip through it whenever it's on next. Don't worry, but...
I wasn't even worried.
Oh, okay. Up next, Penta El Cerro Miedo defeated Nick Camarado. What'd you think about that?
Nicky boy. I like Nick. This match was okay. It's too bad, like, Nick after the match when he had to shake Penta's hand, had such pouty face, like he was about to cry. Like, oh no, I can't believe I lost to Penta. Another member of the factory. Hey, it's a is this Ring of Honor Dark or something?
So, if you didn't watch the match, the finish was that Penta did that move where he like hurts a guy's shoulder by pulling it in a bow and arrow type position, if you know what I'm saying. And he did it to both shoulders, so then Nick Camarado couldn't kick out. So maybe when they did the handshake, he was just working the injury. You know, it hurt his shoulder to handshake. That's why he was so pouty.
Oh, could be.
I doubt it. What did you think of him looking so much like Joey Ryan?
I didn't even think about Joey.
He had the beard. He had the
The
lollipop. Yeah, the chest hair.
But plenty
the
of people,
trunks.
plenty of white people have beards and lollipops, and that's it.
Bro, he looks so much like Joey. Like you might have to watch back to. Really
I would have to watch back. Like,
but
I guess Nick does have sort of like that '70s porn star look. Yeah, they got me thinking about it.
Well, I think that maybe you could find somebody better to steal from, but also, it's good that Joey doesn't have anything left because to hell with Joey.
Well, if Nick starts stealing from Penta, like I'm gonna do all
this. Was he gonna steal his wallet?
Yeah, that too.
No, there's a gimmick. Backstage thief. Nick Camarado. It's
been a long time since someone had that gimmick. I'll tell you that. We need that storyline again.
He's the modern Repo Man. He just
yeah.
They couldn't do it in the Tony Khan verse because they don't do enough backstage stuff. They're just wrestling. But in WWE, I think that would be great for TV.
It would.
The backstage thief. I'm a big fan of this. All right. Up next, match of the night. Konosuke Takeshita defeated Lee Moriarty. What do you think?
Really fun match. These guys got themselves over. I'm looking at Cage Match. It says that this was one of those matches where it felt longer. It felt longer than what it was, and that was a good thing. I had a really good time watching this. Take's great. I'm wondering when he's getting a title match.
Was it like 8-9 minutes?
It was 12.
12. Wow. Oh, it was good. Well, on Dynamite, because I saw a clip of it. I didn't actually watch Dynamite.
I was gonna say, oh no, you're bringing up Dynamite.
Well, Takeshita is I can never say that word. He's sort of aligned with the Elite through Don Callis.
Oh no.
I don't know if you knew that or not, that Don Callis has been trying to manage Konosuke Takeshita, and while they were being attacked by the Blackpool Combat Club, Don Callis brought out Takeshita to even the odds. Were you aware of this?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's their plan or whatnot.
And they're gonna take heel?
The Elite are the baby faces.
Don Callis is like Vicky Guerrero or Bobby Heenan. Like,
yeah, that's
he's
true.
Just heel by default.
I think it's like a.
I
think it's like a Luger situation, where Takeshita is Sting, and he does not know that Don Callis, the Luger, is a heel.
Could be.
Everybody else knows, but because of the language barrier, he does not know. So
that would be a funny ass storyline if they went into that.
I do think that's the idea. Now, they don't execute ideas well, so we might not get any more of it, but I do think that's the idea, that Takeshita does not know that Don Callis sucks.
Hey. Even though he got released from TNA.
Well, Takeshita, like most people, is not aware of TNA.
True.
He's like, Mahabali Shira, I heard he turned down one of the honor forever people's friends. What was it? What request did he turn down? I forget the name of the app. Cameo. He turned down the
That's
Cameo
it.
request for a birthday present.
Wow.
I'm not watching TNA. That's what
Yeah,
Takeshita
screw
would have
that.
said.
That's BS.
I wrote Takeshita is probably the wrestler in all of the Tony Khan verse I'm most consistently excited to see. I don't think he's my favorite wrestler, but I just feel like, whatever they do, it's going to be pretty good.
I mean, how could he be? Colts on this show.
That's true. I also wrote I would like to see Takeshita take on Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hopefully Kyle gets healthy soon.
The real question is when are we getting Take versus Brian Cage?
Hopefully never.
Go on, Take needs to show him how to wrestle.
Brian Cage has wrestled a lot of really talented people. He's not going to learn ever.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Let's get to the next match. I thought this was a title match, but I guess not.
Well, Bobby Cruz announced it as a title match.
Yeah.
Next up, El Hijo del Vikingo defeated Gringo Loco. What'd you think?
I remember Gringo from MLW.
This was. I thought that was your only thought. I remember.
Yeah, I remember him. This was a fun little acrobatic performance. Got the crowd going.
Okay. I think if Vikingo would limit his crazy ass spot attempts to 1 per match,
I was thinking that too.
that would
2.
do so much more for him than doing 5, because people don't remember 5. What they remember is Vikingo did all this crazy shit. If he did 1, people would remember the 1.
I mean, Mick Foley did several crazy spots in that Hell in the Cell match with Undertaker, but I think people
It was 1 match,
mostly
though.
just think of like yeah, and it is 1 match too. Like he didn't do that all the time, but people remember the 1 spot mostly, maybe 2.
It was also the main event in a match with the Undertaker.
Yeah, that was Gringo Loco.
Yeah, on a TV show that no one watches.
Tony
Khan said that they had 15,000 subscribers. Let's double that for the people that are likely pirating it. 30,000 people. That's less than MLW. People watch MLW.
Yeah.
Relatively, this show is watched by no one.
Mm-hmm. And taking risks for this show is why a crazy idea that it shouldn't be doing.
Right. If Tony Khan gave you a contract and said, I want you to keep doing this because I believe you're a star, that's one thing. Vikingo, listen to Ray until you get a contract, buddy. After you get a contract, do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. But you need to protect yourself until Tony pays you.
Yeah. I can't agree with otherwise.
Before we move on,
I'll just say, I wanted to bring up, since before we move on, Vikino, I think he had a fun match with Gringo here, and I think it helps that he worked with someone like Gringo and him have worked. This is like their 8th match against each other in the past couple months. I feel like when you do this style of wrestling, it helps a lot when you're against someone you've been working.
You have that familiarity.
Yeah, but it was like Vikino versus Jack Evans out of the blue, wouldn't be nearly as fun.
Yeah, I wrote in my notes. I wasn't going to bring it up until you said it, but if they're going to do these kinds of matches so consistently, why doesn't Jack Evans have a job?
Yeah.
Jack Evans would be a great person to wrestle Vikingo or Commander.
I'd just be how he behaves himself backstage.
Yeah, I guess so. You look at the list of people that have been fired by Tony Khan. It's not a long list, so he probably did something fucked up.
Yeah, it's Jack.
But before we move on, and I'm not going to argue about it, I'm just going to say it, and we're going to move on after that. Low key, this was the performance of the night by Gringo Loco. He was great. After that,
he was great. He looked a lot better than his match with Commander.
This was like the Tony Deppen for Brian Cage performance. Yeah. He did so much to make Vikingo look good. And he said after this, because he cuts a promo later, that Tony Khan raised his hand and invited him back. Good, because
I've always liked Gringo.
Yeah. I wrote in my notes after for the promo, Gringo Loco has all the makings of an elite job guy.
Hell yeah, that's true.
Which, I mean, that's not, I'm sure that's not what he set out to be, but I'd pay him, what's the name of Sammy Guevara's friend? Fuego del Sol?
Oh yeah.
Gringo Loco was a better job guy than Fuego del Sol.
For sure.
Give him the contract.
Hell yeah.
After this, the Iron Savages beat Ren Jones and Logan Lynch. What do you think?
I like Bear Country. I was impressed with that 2-man body slam. Yeah. I thought at first I thought they were being kind of silly, but I didn't know the match was gonna go 2 minutes. So
they were being silly,
and the fact that they just squashed them, I think them sort of like jacking off on these guys. John Dew's like, I didn't know the match was going to go that way, but after it went 2 minutes, I was like, yeah, okay. I like this. I don't know how they are against. I don't think I've ever seen them in a long match, but I look forward to seeing more Bear Country.
I mean this in the nicest way possible. This was like if 2 high schoolers were cosplaying as a Ryback and the Ultimate Warrior.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like, they weren't bad like them, but they were just like really upping how crazy it is and how, I guess, sort of like Ultimate Warrior, and that they're really playing up that maybe they did cocaine 5 minutes ago.
Like before the one did the body slam, they handed him talcum powder, he slapped his hands before he did the body slam. I thought, what the hell is he doing? But then the fact that he body slammed those 2 guys together impressed me. It's funny thinking back on it.
Yeah, I think this could get really over. I think the AEW audience would really like this gimmick.
When we gain the Iron Savages versus the Righteous?
Hopefully never. But I would like to see the Iron Savages in a program with the Acclaimed.
That would be fun. I bet that would be fun.
I bet it would be fun. Like, I don't know if the wrestling would be any good, but the Iron Savages being nonsensical in the ring, and Max and Bowens carrying the entertainment before the matches and in promos, I think it would be very entertaining.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we already talked about the Gringo Loco promo. Time for the main event of the evening. Samoa Joe beat Colt Cabana to retain the Ring of Honor TV title.
Colt, he just can't drop he went out there. Yeah. Here's the thing. I like Colt Cabana. If you listen to the podcast, I was saying, why don't we get to see Colt Cabana wrestle? And after this match, I was like, well, that was Colt. I don't ever need to see him again. I'm not saying he can't be good. He's not gonna jump. He, like I said, he's had to go up there and be I'm a funny guy and do his stick. I got a post, I got Colt Cabana so much. I got a poster that's a drawing of Colt and Adam Pearce wrestling back when they were feuding over the NWA World Title.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked Colt, but he can't. He either knows that he's not going to be wrestling on the show again, or he just doesn't care. And
I think the odds are fairly good he is going to be wrestling on this show again.
Yeah, I mean, he sort of just randomly showed up here. Like, you'd figure, I'd figure, you'd say, oh, next week, Colt and Joe for the title. We're sort of seems sprung onto us.
Yeah, I don't understand. I guess maybe they're going to do a Samoa Joe as beating all the old Ring of Honor guys thing. I don't know. I was excited for this match, and it sort of underwhelmed. Maybe it exactly whelmed.
Now that you bring up this idea of Joe versus all the old Ring of Honor people, why don't we get someone Joe really hates, and he's been in the news, for the title, Samoa Joe versus Teddy Hart.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Necro Butcher again. Yeah, I would not bring Teddy Hart in. I think never mind, I'm not saying that. I'm not accusing anybody of something on a broadcast like this.
Good.
Teddy Hart is he's a person. I would not invite him to
There's
my
a nice
show.
documentary on Peacock about him now that's came out
Yeah,
recently.
yeah. Watch that.
I thought I liked this episode. I'll say again, like I have to talk about. There's nothing here. I don't say that. There's some things I look forward to. Like I like Bear Country. Take was great. It's cool to see Nicky Boy, even though he's doing the job. Athena was good. And we like the Kingdom.
I love the Kingdom. They're probably, other than Takeshita, they're probably what I'm excited to see on these shows. Yeah, I thought the show was alright. If it had a better main event, you'd probably remember it because there wasn't a lot of really terrible stuff. There was just a lot of mediocre stuff on the show.
There was nothing as bad as Bussy versus Tommy Rich.
Don't you mean
Doug
good?
Gilbert?
Don't you mean nothing as awe-inspiring, life-changing? I mean, I can't watch that match because the last time I watched any match involving Alley Catch, I was just thirsty forever.
Well, maybe that was the idea. Tommy's there to kill your boner. I don't know if they'd even succeed as hard as they try.
There is a gimmick for you, the boner killer.
It's Top Dollar versus the boner killer, Tommy Rich.
Well, there's a WrestleMania second match if I ever heard one.
Exactly. Well, guys, thanks for listening to the show. Sorry that my promises didn't come through. I just have crazy things going on in my personal life right now. Hopefully, I can work out getting a guest for this podcast in the future. For now,
I messaged Colt Cabana. He didn't respond. Colt is my close personal friend. He's just ignoring me.
All 6 of you at Colt Cabana right now and tell him hello and join and go on to our friend's podcast.
Yeah. Hello. Go on the podcast.
Well, we'll be back next Tuesday. Thanks for listening and have a great rest of your day.
Smell you later, cheese bags.